Hi, so this last lecture is on the political process model. So this week we're covering politics and economics. And one thing that is very interesting with politics is understanding social change and how groups can make a difference within the political process. So this model is a way of explaining how do we make social change given the political structure that's intact. One way of looking at it then is to consider political opportunities and constraints that have to do with the social change movement and the institutionalized political structure, meaning that given any structural positioning, a group can make changes or is prevented from making changes. This potentially explains how movements emerge and then can also provide a comparative angle to compare different movements within different kinds of political structures. So political structures being like a democratic political structure or a totalitarian or a communist political structure. Any one of these structures can provide opportunities or constraints for social change. Finally, the political process model offers a way of explaining the relationship between the institutionalized political structure and political protests, social change, or revolutions. So let's start. There's 4 parts to the political process model. The first part is looking at the structure of political opportunities. How does social change happen? Well, there has to be opportunities that allow people to gain entrance into the political process. These are known as the structure of political opportunities. There's always going to be a power relationship between the movement, those who want to create social change, and the institutionalized political structure. In other words, what is the political environment? If the movement holds a measure of power over the institutionalized political structure, it's easier for the movement to assert its movement activities or what we might call a bargaining position. But at the same time, becomes a greater threat to the institutionalized political structure and are at risk of repression. So a political opportunity structure can provide real sort of positioning in terms of making change, but the more that they have this position of power, the more it's going to threaten the political structure. The restructuring of movement opportunities then is a cumulative process, not spontaneous or immediate. There's going to be a constant negotiation between the political structure and the movement itself. The more stable the political structure is, the less opportunities for movement activities, the more solidarity that the political structure has, the less that outside influences are going to be able to change that. So really a very stable political structure is going to reduce the political opportunities of a movement. Okay, so the second part is known as the organizational strength of the movement. The organizational strength of the movement has to do with the ability of the group to mobilize resources and utilize available networks within an opportune time in the political structure. So resources such as time, money, people, in order to carry out their movement, their social change goals. So really the organizational strength of the movement particularly is about the ability to convert a favorable structure of political opportunities into an organized campaign of social protest. So looking at, say, like the anti-war movement, given a certain political structure, they can voice their concerns, make a difference, influence the public in favor. But they have to mobilize resources and utilize social networks in order to do that. If they don't, then their message won't be carried and won't be heard. So a strong organization is able to recruit members, especially those who are well integrated into the agreed population, either through pre-existing organizations or through pre-existing groups as a coalition. A movement organization then looks at how to get people involved and how to use them in a way that can achieve their movement goals. A strong movement is able to emphasize incentives gained from being part of these organizations or pre-existing groups. A strong movement is able to employ a communication network for building awareness and updates about the movement activities. And finally, a strong movement organization is one that can build a leadership infrastructure that centralizes decision-making and coordination of the group. All of these things, all these sort of organizational features, is really going to help the movement achieve the social change that it wants to achieve within the political structure.